Hi, my name is Tom Wiggans. I do front of house and production for Bloc Party, and we're here at the Brighton Centre. I met Rob Ramon from Sound Network, who popped up to say hello at the end of a gig I mixed at the Roundhouse. He persuaded me to try out a box of microphones. He generously lent me some, and I discovered that I could switch all the EQ out and take the gates off. And I remember the tour manager walking in and saying, "Wow, what have you done to the drums?" And I was like, "Well, I've basically got rid of all the processing I was having to do." They've never come off a drum kit that I've been working on since. So the upshot of that was Rob wanted us to try the de facto, and the amount of times that people have come up to me saying, "You don't want to be using a 58, mate, you want to be using one of these." Played that record before. And so anyway, we got a chance to try it, and then switching to the de facto, I found that all of a sudden it just sat where I wanted it to in the mix. So that was a kind of a game changer for me.
My relationship with DPA Microphones especially started when I was working for Example. When I took over that job, we put him onto a de facto. He loved it. When I went from there to Years and Years, we put that thing on de facto. When we came to Amy, we put Amy onto de facto microphones, and then put all the DPA stuff onto the drum kit as well. And we've done the same thing for Bloc Party as well. The thing that speaks to me more about DPAs and the whole de facto range is the fact that you don't get the phasing off the mic. So if, for instance, a drummer is going around the kit, I don't get the phasing between rack 1 and rack 2 and rack 3, which a lot of other mics cause that problem. So what the drummer hears is far more natural sounding kit compared to the kind of phasing you would hear on some other products. For me, as a monitor guy, especially doing in-ears, that's super important because I'm trying to create the most natural sounding environment for the musicians to listen to. Because we haven't got to deal with acoustics, as in the acoustic space, everything we hear is straight in our ears. The preamps I pick and the microphones I pick become supremely important to getting that kind of natural sound back.
One of the most impressive things for me about the 4099 is how the spill that you do here is so flat, it's not coloured, which means you're not as reliant on gates and the toms, so you can have things far more open. The bleed's really usable. It just gives you the opportunity for a kind of more natural, harmonious sound. Again, I think I was chatting to Adam from Sound Network, who asked me if I'd ever tried an omni. And to me, omnis aren't really a microphone you tend to use in live, because we're usually in loud environments. But then Adam was like, well, if you put it next to something really loud, you don't have to have much gain. So I tried the 2006 on a guitar cab, and I was blown away by, super low gain. I think the gain is minus 6 dB, so I'm actually attenuating it. And the tone is, it's just so fat.
The fact that 90% of this band are on DPA says it all, really.